Hey traders, Akil Stokes here. It is Monday, January 23rd, and welcome to today's edition of the Trading Blog. Now, for you guys that have been with me for a while, you know that Mondays are my down day when it comes to trading. Instead of doing my live trading room, really instead of doing my normal type of top-down analysis in the morning, the concentration is on education. We have our private Q&A session for our 12-week transformation members. And one of the cool things about doing that Q&A session and being a coach is it keeps you sharp. There's also there's often, I guess I should say, the problem in trading that, you know, you have a trading strategy, you have something that works, you execute it consistently, and you really start to lose your edge. When I say lose your edge, not necessarily meaning your edge as far as your expectancy in your strategy, but you kind of get content with what you're doing. You kind of get lackadaisical, and that opens up the door for really making mistakes, and really it can cause damage to your trading. One of the most important stories that I've heard in my trading career comes from one of our former mastermind members, where it was a lady who took her trading account. I don't remember what she started with, but she grew her trading account from a moderate size all the way up to about $500,000 over a few years, of course. And I remember her saying that she got to that level and then it just went completely backwards, and she almost blew everything and just couldn't figure out what the issue was. And that story stick with me because it's a horror story. It keeps me on edge every single day because I don't want to be that trader that is good for, 4, 5, 6 years and then suddenly all give it away and ruin everything. So for me, because of that fear, I've always made sure to stay sharp. And that's why I love working with other traders. We get lots of questions about, topics ranging from the very simple to the very elaborate. And as coaches, it's our job to come in and answer those questions repeatedly. And also different traders learn differently. So try to find a way to explain it that works for the individual trader. And that just helps stay sharp because you go back over old material. Sometimes you have questions that really make you think. You may not have an answer for them right off the tip of the tongue, so you gotta dig into some research, dig into some books, dig into some old videos, and try to figure out a way to explain it that works. And all of that is keeping yourself sharp, staying in the gym. Again, you don't want to get bland with your trading. You don't want to. It's naive to think that although what you're doing right now works, that it will work forever, or that it will work just as good forever. And I used to think that way. You guys know when I started off trading, I was just an advanced pattern formation trader. I started off a few ways before that, but once I got serious and settled and failed, and then got serious and settled again, I started over just trading advanced pattern formations. And I did my back testing, I did all of that stuff, and it worked pretty well. However, in the recent years, the last 3 years just come to mind, they haven't performed as good as they did, say, 4, 5, 6 years ago. It doesn't mean they're not profitable, but they're not the same. And one of the things that has kept me afloat as a trader, one of the things that have kept me, pushing on the right path upwards, has been my ability to adapt. And that's kind of an old saying in this industry. It's not the trader with the best strategy that wins, right, in the long run. It's the trader that's able to adapt their strategy to the different market conditions. And I think about it, I've been trading for 10 years now, and I've traded through recessions. I've traded through Brexit. I've traded through, this and that. Natural disasters, and we're getting ready right now, or I guess we are right now, in the Trump era, which is a different circumstance as well. And we don't know how the markets are going to act. We don't know how the markets are going to react. We don't know that what we're doing right now is going to work the same, as it did a few years ago. But the one thing that's going to keep us solid as traders is our ability to adapt, our ability to adjust, right? And that typically comes from doing the small things. You don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to adjust my strategy this way. No, it takes from a consistently keeping your head in the books, consistently reviewing your days, consistently looking at your trades and seeing what worked, what didn't work, what used to work, what could have worked, right? Doing stuff like that. We talked this morning about maximum favorable excursion and maximum adverse excursions, things like that. The key is staying sharp will keep you in the game. If not, you'll end up being a Chip Kelly. And for you guys that don't know American football, Chip Kelly was this great college coach. He took this school that didn't really have a winning tradition, and he implemented this new offense that no one's really done it the way he did it before, and it couldn't be stopped. He was highly recognized as one of the smartest coaches, one of the smartest minds out there. And when he went to our main league, the NFL, the National Football League, he implemented his style there, and it worked for a little bit, but eventually teams caught up to him. And when teams caught up to him, he failed to adjust, he failed to adapt, and well, now he's jobless. And the same thing can happen with trading, right? You can trade well for this many years, but if things change and you're not willing to adapt, you could be out of luck, and you could be just like that woman who had that $500,000 account and essentially blew it all by not adapting or adjusting. So that's today's trading blog. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Again, I've been trying to do these things every day, but as time permits, my schedule is getting a little bit busy. I got to start prepping for this big event coming up, so we'll see. But I'm excited to get back to trading for another week. And until then, plan your trade your plan. Take care, guys.